Welcome. My name is Lovey New from New Yoga and Wellness, and I have a wonderful class for you today. Today we will be doing our restorative class. You will need some props, but if you don't have props, no big deal. We'll be able to make some adjustments to the routine with other things. Just some of the things I have with me today: a bolster, blocks. I also have a sandbag, and I have a couple of blankets. I always stress, don't worry about going and find all these things. If you have just a regular blanket at home that you use to cuddle in, or even a pillow that you can use to prop up, that's just as good. Today I'm excited to call this Playful Restorative. And this is what all these props are, is us playing. We're gonna play with our bodies, see if we can open up, come back to our breath, find stillness in our practice today. But be playful with it. Where something doesn't feel right, make the adjustment that you need to as we go through the practice, okay? Throughout this practice for restorative, there'll be moments of silence. I'll try to give you cues to ensure that you're not alone. And trust me, when you do any practice with me, you're never alone. I'm always here for support. So email, call, text, do whatever you need. That's what I'm here, is to help. So let's go ahead and get started. Our first pose that we're going to start with for coming back to our breath as our theme is a supported fish pose. All you'll need is a bolster. And I like to kind of elongate your body. So line it up nice and straight. You're going to center it with the sacrum of your back. Go ahead, you can elongate your legs. Some people press down on it. I just want to make sure that it's straight and lines up with my spine. So first thing, go ahead, come to staff pose. Pull the flesh from your sit bones. Sit up tall, pull that navel in just for a second. And go ahead and lower yourself down into fish. Bring your arms to your side, tucking the shoulders underneath for a good heart opener. Take a moment, scan your body. Is there any areas that need to be adjusted? Any areas that's uncomfortable? Throughout this practice, I want you to use your breath as an anchor to come back to the present moment as you're on the mat. Always, as I like to say, on your inhales, clear your mind. And on your exhales, surrender to the pose, melting into the mat, creating some space. Scan your body again. Any areas that you need any more adjustments? Do you need to scoot over to the left? Do you feel like your chest is broadening and opening up? Still coming back to the breath. There will be a moment of silence for the next few minutes. And I'll let you know when it's time to come out of the pose. Come back to your breath. Slowly bring your hands next to you. Push up to your forearms, engaging the core, tucking the chin. Rise all the way up with a strong core. Move the bolster to the side just for a moment. Go ahead and lie back. Bend your knees up. Bring your feet to the outer edge of the mat, having your big toes point that way. And slowly windshield wiper your knees side to side. Fish is considered a back bend, so just trying to loosen up that lumbar spine if we were there for a little too long. Good, come back to stillness. Go ahead, push yourself up to a nice easy seat. Next pose that we're going to play with. In this one, I do like to say we play a lot in this pose, and this is just a belly twist. And it's a good counter to doing something like fish. In this pose, you can have a blanket. You don't have to. I absolutely don't use one. Some people do. And you can use it between your knees if you feel like it aligns your knees a little bit better. If not, you're welcome to just play with it. That's an idea. Or you can put a block in between your knees as well. So, go ahead, we're going to do our left side. Put your left hip towards the bolster. Have it kind of, I would say lined up perfectly with the greater trochanter, which is kind of that bone that sticks out. And with your knees, that's your choice, whether you kind of stack them like this, put them directly on top of each other, 90-degree angle with your knees. That's your choice. This is your practice, and this is your time to play. So go ahead, slowly, I want you to elongate that spine. Exhale, twist, trying to align the navel up with the bolster, and slowly walk down. Going to your forearms until you feel comfortable as far as alignment. Once you do, bring your left cheek to the bolster. And this is where I say you can play with it a little bit. Maybe your knees need to be higher. Maybe they like to be kind of stair stacked. Maybe they need to be bent back a little bit. This is absolutely a pose that you can play with, and I highly recommend we'll do both sides. So once you get comfortable, go ahead, come back to your breath. Scan your bodies for the areas of tension. You can wrap your arms higher. You can have them wide. This is your mat. This is your practice. Come back to your breath. Use your breath as a way to go inward and melt into the pose. Again, scan your body. Notice any areas that need to be adjusted or moved. Again, play with your knees if you like. Whatever adjustments, maybe even adding a blanket if that's what you need in your practice at this time. Listen to your body. We'll be here just a little bit longer, and I'll let you know when it's time to come out of the pose. When you're ready, go ahead, push yourself up, nice and gentle, no rush, walking your hands slowly back towards your body. Normally I would just turn over to the opposite side, but instead I'm going to flip since I am filming. And just to show you some other things you can do as far as, props and using them. Like I said, this is a playful time. So let's see what we can do. Again, let's line up the bolster to your greater trochanter, the hip side. We're still going to elongate the spine. Exhale, twist, trying to line the navel up with the center of the bolster. Bring your hands to each side of the bolster and slowly walk down. Now in this one, I'm going to change and put a blanket on top just for a little bit more support and comfort. Still walking the hands down. Bring my left cheekbone or temple to the mat. Play with your arms. You want to wrap them tight at the top. Do you want them to come to the side in cactus? Definitely in your practice, all is welcome. Try them all and see what works for you. Again, play with your knees. Have them tucked in high. Stack them, or stack them I call it. Even if you want to elongate, if that works for you. Your practice. Let's sink in deep, come back to our breath. Surrender to the pose. Again, scan your body. Make any adjustments you feel you need. Add any props if you need to prop up your knees. A blanket, another bolster, or a block would do. Anything to not make this position or pose stressful or have any tension. Come back to your breath. We'll be here for a few more minutes. I'll let you know when it's time to release from the pose. Come back to your breath. When you're ready, frame your bolster. Slowly push yourself up, no rush. Walk your hands back towards your body. And then stack your blocks. That's one of my other favorite poses that you're able to play with and use a lot of props in those. And that's a pose where if you need to make adjustments, don't feel like you're wrong for not feeling exactly right on the first time you lay down. That's just part of getting into it and finding what works for you. And some days it works and some days it doesn't. So be patient, but make sure you're not feeling any major tension. If you are, release the pose. Go to child's pose at any time throughout any practice with me. Let's prepare for bound angle. And we're actually going to go ahead and do this one. Let's play again. Let's play one more time. Let's go ahead. And I want to take one block on the shorter edge and then the second block on the higher edge, about a block distance apart. I'll probably go a little bit further back than that. And this is another chest opener, another one where you can come back to your breath. If you have a blanket, go ahead, fold it in half, so kind of long ways like so. Any blanket will do, and you're just gonna roll it up. Nothing magical or special about this blanket being rolled, right? Doesn't matter how expensive, the color, nothing, it will all work the way it's supposed to. That's how the universe wants it to be, right? So to prepare for bound angle, first we're going to bring the soles of our feet together, okay? And that's the beginning of bound angle. Some people, if you want to do a recline, will support with their knees, which is an option as well. And in fact, go ahead, you're going to take your roll blanket, bring it on top of your ankles, and then you're going to roll them under and kind of tuck them together. And what that does when you drop those ankles out, it kind of locks your knees in place and your hips in place, so you're not having to hold your legs up, okay? Next, you're going to line yourself up close as you can to the bolster, press down, slowly lowering down, feeling and making sure that the blocks are stable for you. Once you're in that position, you feel comfortable, go ahead, cactus your arms to the side, palms up. Scan your body, see if there's any adjustments that need to be made. Anything that's not comfortable, let's see if we can adjust that. There. Come back to your breath. Remember on your inhales, clear your mind. And on your exhales, relax your body. Use your breath as it is as a life force to cleanse, re-nourish, replenish, rejuvenate. Continue to follow your breath. Again, scan your body. Make any adjustments you feel that would help make this more comfortable. Release tension and help clear your mind and melt into the pose. If something doesn't work, please adjust, add a blanket for maybe more head support, or untie your wrap around your ankles and use some blocks to support your knees. Your practice. We'll be here for a few more minutes. I'll let you know when it's time to come out of the pose. Again, come back to your breath. Bring your hands to where you're supporting the bottom of the bolster. Engage your core, rise up. Bring your knees in just for a moment. Unwrap your ankles and move things to the side. That position we use a lot in the hospital for if you have any heart issues. It takes the stress of the work of the heart. It decreases it. So this is a great pose to surrender to as well, and another one that I would recommend you play with, okay? Now we're gonna move to one of my favorite. I guess everything's my favorite when it comes to doing yoga in general, right? It's feet up the wall, and when I say if you're doing any sort of kind of rehab, for a client, if you're a nurse or whatnot, this is a great pose to take the stress of the day that we put on our legs, but also on our heart. So we're going to do an inversion where pretty much we're now having blood flowing from our toes, down our feet, down our legs, into the main trunk of our body. And with this is where the fun sandbag comes in. I fill this up to about 2 pounds, which some people go up to 5. Everyone's different, it's all the same. But I am gonna put this on my feet for support. So this is an amazing pose. I definitely want you to take note of what happens in your body, especially when you come out of this pose, okay? To start to get in this pose, kind of you can put your hip against the wall. I probably would bring the sandbag a little bit closer. And you're just going to lie back, and how pretty or graceful you get your feet up the wall, that is your choice. So for people who don't have a sandbag, make sure your buttocks is touching the wall. I like to do this, and I do it a couple times each time I get into this pose. I like to tuck my tail, rise up, and I'm pushing, so my hips are coming towards you, and then I like to slowly peel my vertebrae down to the mat, one vertebrae at a time, trying to remove the lordosis in my lower spine. Let's try that again. I want you to lift your hips, tuck your tail under. You're kind of putting a little curve in that lower spine. How much you want to do is up to you. And then slowly roll down one vertebrae at a time, having your buttocks still aligned with the wall. If you want to, go ahead, play with your sandbag. I usually shift the sand to the middle, and I bring my knees down and kind of use them as a guide. If you're in a class, hopefully your teacher will walk around and center this for you. But since we're at home, do the best that you can. Once your legs are back up the wall, flex your feet, dorsal flex them. Extend your arms to the side, palms up. Again, tucking the shoulder blades underneath. Scan your body for any areas of tension. Come back to your breath. Let it be your anchor and surrender to the pose. Again, scan your body. Check for any areas that you may be holding tension. If the sandbag's too much, go ahead, take it off. Your practice, no worries. When you're ready to settle back in, come back to your breath. And I will let you know when it's time to release from the pose. Come back to your breath. Blink your eyes open, nice and gentle. If you have a sandbag, go ahead, slowly bend down your legs to the point where you can remove the bag. Bend your knees, slide to the right or left side. Pillow your head with your arm just for a second. Go ahead, push yourself up to an easy seat. One of my favorites. Go ahead, once you get to your easy seat, sit up tall, close your eyes, and go in. Scan yourself. Notice the changes within your lower body. Do you feel lighter, more energized, refreshed? Feel the way the energy now moves, now that you've kind of shook it up a little bit. Go ahead, open your eyes, and let's come back and prepare for our final pose. Our final pose today will be Shavasana. So if you have that rolled up mat, or blanket, let's go ahead and we'll use it again. So if you didn't have it, you're gonna take it out wide and you just go roll it up, nothing fancy at all. We're gonna try to line this up where your knees will be. So this should be on the back side, taking some relief off. Good. And when you're ready, again, bring your arms out to your sides, palms up. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath. Let your feet fall out wide or to the sides. Make any adjustment with your roll that you need. Remove it if it's not comfortable. Come back to your breath. Shavasana. Come back to your breath. When you're ready, create some small movements in your fingertips and toes. Roll to your right side, pillowing your head with your arms. When you're ready, push up to a cross-legged seated position. Close your eyes, sink within. Scan your body, and I hope you're feeling more relaxed, more at peace. Especially during our time of playful, restorative, using our props. Go ahead, bring your hands to heart center, press into your heart space. Close your eyes if you have not. I truly want to say to you, it's been an honor to practice with you. The light within me honors the light within you. Namaste. Again, thank you for a wonderful practice. If you like this video, please subscribe. Email me at newyogawellness@gmail.com. Follow me on Facebook or Instagram. And again, I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.